Who else had lived here with them? I knew nothing about my family. A sadness settled over me. I hadn't met my ancestors and never would, but I would be living among their belongings, using their possessions. I hated my mother for not letting me know them. The cottage was primitive, not a stove or fridge in sight. An old fiddle leant against the wall in the corner, the spider webs draping it almost as thick as the strings. Who had played it? My grandfather, perhaps even my mother. Someone's fingers had left their trace on the neck, so its lustre revealed itself shyly when I wiped away the coat of grime. 2 armchairs faced each other across the hearth, and I wanted to believe this had been a happy home, a place where people spoke and people listened, where music filled the long winter nights. There was an alcove with a faded curtain hanging across it, a wooden bed pushed back against the wall with an old crate beside it. The only internal door led to another room just large enough for a double bed, with a blanket box at its foot, filled with yellowed, musty-smelling sheets and mouse droppings. A small chest of drawers squatted beneath a picture of Mary and baby Jesus that looked like it might have been torn out of a book or a magazine. Opening the top drawer and seeing it contained coarse underwear, I closed it again, unready for the intimacy of rifling through the clothes my grandparents had worn. Wooden planks had been knocked together to make a blind. A naked bulb hung from the ceiling, but a flick of the switch by the door proved there was no electricity. It was a poor place, but a home that would have seen love as well as loss, joy as well as sorrow, some of each seeping into the marrow of the cottage, the stone walls strengthened by the lives that had been lived within. This was the perfect place, indeed the only place, for me now. I would get used to the whispers from across the years. The driver had followed me in, watching my exploration. He now placed my possessions at my feet and held his hand out. I gave him my shopping list for next time and a small tip. He clicked his tongue against his teeth, perhaps the only sound he could make, for it was the same noise he had used in his car as we made our way up the track, as if it was a horse needing encouragement. Then he walked away, not towards his car, but to a mound of turf cuttings. He gathered a basketful and brought it back, dumping it in the corner and pointing to the range. Peat, for burning. I watched him go, guiding the car along the rutted way, never once looking back. I was relieved to be of so little interest to him, and given my history, more relieved that he was of so little interest to me. I spent the next few days cleaning and bringing order to my new life. Rising early, well before the 9 o'clock dawn of this far north place, I'd light a fire and put the water on for washing and for tea. I'd never cooked over a fire before, never been a girl guide on camp. I was trying to get the range going one morning, fingers numb with cold, when a gust of wind blew down the chimney, and the ashes from the night before covered me. On another day, as I lay the fire, the embers from the previous day caught, and a tongue of flame burst forth, catching alight the sleeve of my fleece. I ran outside and rolled in the turf, crying tears of shame and fear in the wind and the sleet. Then I went in and threw water on the fire, filling the cottage with smoke, making me cough, and run out again, shivering in my ruined clothes. The sludge that trickled out of the tap above the deep stone sink was the colour of the parquet flooring in my London flat, so I collected water from the spring that ran just below the cottage. My back ached from the weight of the bucket, and several times I sloshed so much water over myself I had to dry my clothes out in front of the fire or risk freezing to death. The one time I hung my clothes outside after washing, they froze and cracked loudly as I pulled them off the line.